Hi everyone, welcome back to our crochet along. Today we are starting potholder number 10, which is the Bejeweled Potholder. This potholder uses a combination of the half double crochets and single crochets to create this fun color block design. This is the front side of the potholder. This is the back side, and this is the side seam. So as you guys can see, it's nice and straight along the side of our potholder, so we can still use the back as well as the front side. Before we get started, let's check out our Crochet-Along Spotlight, which features a few of our amazing crocheters in the Crochet-Along. Now without further ado, here are the materials and supplies that you'll need to create your potholder. Alright guys, to start our potholder, we're going to start with our first color, color A. We're going to make a slip knot, place it on our hook, and tighten it up. Now, there are two different sizes that we can make. For size number 1, chain 31. For size number 2, chain 37. And if you'd like to make a custom sized potholder, chain a multiple of 3 and then add 1 at the end of your chain. Alright guys, to start row 1, we are going to go into the second chain from our hook. So this is the first chain. This is the second chain, and we're going to make a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into that chain, going underneath the top loop, yarn over and draw up a loop so we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That makes our half double crochet. So this is our first half double crochet. Now from here on out, we're going to make a half double crochet in each chain. So again, go underneath the top loop of the next chain and make 1 half double crochet. Do this again in the next chain, 1 half double crochet, and so on until we get to the last chain of our row. Okay guys, when we have 1 chain remaining, we're going to insert our hook into that chain and we're going to make 2 half double crochets. And this counts as our corner of our potholder. So this is what round 1 looks like so far. At this point, we're going to rotate our work so that we're working along the bottom of our chain. And we're going to skip over the chain that we just worked into where we made our 2 half double crochets, and we're going to go into the next chain right here. So we're going to insert our hook underneath the bottom loop of our chain, and we're going to make a half double crochet, and we're going to make a half double crochet in each chain across. Okay guys, we have 1 chain remaining. This is actually the chain that we worked into at the beginning of the round. This has our first stitch in it. So we're going to insert our hook and we're going to make 1 half double crochet. Now we're going to find our first stitch, which is right here. At this point, we're going to make a slip stitch to close the round, and we're also going to change color. So we're going to insert our hook underneath both loops of that first stitch and drop your current color, but don't fasten off. So we want to keep this as like a working yarn because we are going to need it for future rounds, and this way we have less ends to weave in at the end of our project. Pick up your new color and loop it over your finger. Pick it up with your hook and pull it through the stitch and the loop on your hook, and that makes a slip stitch, and now we've changed color. So if this slip stitch is a little loose, you can just pull on the pink yarn and that will kind of tighten things up. There we go. Make sure with your new color you leave a long enough tail that you can weave in your ends later. So this is what round 1 looks like. To start round 2, we are going to chain 1, and the beginning chain 1, it never counts as a stitch. So do you see where we changed color? We changed color in this first stitch of round 1. So that's where we're going to make our first stitch of round 2. We're going to go underneath both loops and we're going to make a single crochet. So we're going to yarn over, drop a loop, so we have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through both loops, and that's a single crochet. Now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to skip 2 stitches. So we worked into this stitch, now we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and we're going to go into the next stitch, this third one. So go into that next stitch underneath both loops, and we're going to make a single crochet, chain 2, and we're going to repeat this around. So we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and we're going to go into the third stitch. We're going to make a single crochet, chain 2, skip 2, go into the third stitch, make a single crochet, chain 2. And you guys want to do this all the way around. So we're coming up on our corner of our pot holder. So take your time, it's the exact same process. Skip 2, go into the third stitch, make a single crochet, chain 2, and then now we're gonna skip 2, go into the next stitch, make a single crochet, chain 2. There you have it. We're now around our pot holder, so we can work along the other side of it. So we are now at the end of the round. So it looks like there might be 3 stitches here, but there's really not. There are 2 stitches, and then there's that slip stitch that we made. See, if we pull on that pink yarn, see how it kind of tightens up, and now we only see 2 stitches. So there we go. We're gonna find our first single crochet. So this is our beginning chain 1, and this is our first single crochet. So go underneath both loops of this single crochet, and we're gonna make a slip stitch and change color. So at this point, we're gonna drop color B, and we're gonna leave it hanging from our work because we're gonna need it later. And we're gonna pick up color A, which is still hanging from our pot holder. So loop it over your finger, yarn over with your hook, pull through the stitch and through that loop on your hook. And now see how this looks really loose? We don't really want that, so we can just kind of tighten it up. And there we go. So this is what round 2 looks like, and as you'll notice, you can kind of start to fold it and make a little pouch, which is what we want. Alright guys, to start round 3, we're going to be using color A, and we're going to skip over our single crochet from round 2, and we're going to find our first skipped half double crochet from round 1. So it's this stitch right here. This one is unworked. Do we see it? Those 2 loops here? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over. We're going to insert our hook into that first skipped half double crochet. Try your best to go under both loops and see how your hook kind of pops out the back side of our pot holder. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to crochet over top of our chain 2 from round 2 so that it's hidden. So we're going to yarn over and draw up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook. We're gonna make a half double crochet. And we're gonna do this 2 more times going into the same stitch. So insert your hook into the front of the stitch and out the back. Make a half double crochet. So that's 2. And 1 more time. Okay, we've now made 3 half double crochets into that stitch. And what this is we're gonna call this a half double crochet cluster from here on out. Okay, so we also have a second skipped half double crochet. We're just gonna skip over that one. We're gonna skip over the next single crochet that's in green. Okay, and we're gonna find our first half double crochet again. It's this one right here. So we're gonna make a half double crochet cluster in there. So insert your hook going underneath both loops, insert from the front and go out the back of your pot holder. And we're gonna make 3 half double crochets, crocheting over top of our chain 2. Just like before, guys, we're gonna skip over the next half double crochet and the next single crochet, and we're gonna find our next first skipped half double crochet. So this one right here, right after our single crochet. Go into that stitch, poke it out the back, and we're gonna make our 3 half double crochet cluster, all into that same stitch. So this is what it's looking like. So as you guys can see, you've done this right if you can only see your single crochets, because our half double crochet clusters actually cover up our chain 2s, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna do this all the way around. We're gonna skip over our single crochet. We're gonna go into our first half double crochet from round 1, and we're gonna make a half double crochet cluster. Okay, when we get to our corner, our edge here, it's the same thing. So find your single crochet, skip it, go into that first half double crochet after it, and make a cluster. Okay. Skip your single crochet, find your first half double crochet after it, and make your cluster. So this is our corner. We're now around it. We're going along the other side of our pot holder. Okay guys, we have 1 more stitch left to work into. So we have this single crochet, which we're gonna skip. We're gonna find our next half double crochet, that first one. Make your last half double crochet cluster. Okay, and now you're gonna see that we're back kind of where we started. So this is our first single crochet that we skipped. So this is the beginning chain 1, that doesn't count as a stitch, and this is our first half double crochet. So in here, we're gonna insert our hook, we're gonna drop our current color, leave it attached, and pick up color B. Yarn over, pull through the stitch and the loop on your hook to complete your slip stitch, and just tug on your old color, so color A, and that just closes things really nicely. So this is what round 3 looks like. This is the front and this is the back side. Okay guys, we're on to round 4. So with color B, we're gonna chain 1, and this doesn't count as a stitch. For this round, we're gonna find our first half double crochet cluster and our last half double crochet cluster. We're gonna go in between them. So basically, we're gonna try to line it up with the previous round single crochet. So we're gonna kind of go in here into this space or gap, and we're gonna make a single crochet. So right between those clusters. Chain 2. We're gonna skip over the cluster and we're gonna make a single crochet between these two clusters so that it lines up with round 2's single crochet. So insert your hook between the clusters, make a single crochet, chain 2. Between the next two clusters, we're going to make a single crochet, chain 2. Between the next two clusters, make a single crochet, chain 2. And we're going to do this all the way around. Our last half double crochet cluster is here, so we're going to skip over it and we're going to find that first single crochet that we made. Insert your hook into that single crochet underneath both loops and drop your current color, but let it hang from your work. Pick up color A, yarn over, and pull it through the stitch and through the loop on your hook. And you can just tug on color B to close that up. So this is what round 4 looks like. Okay guys, to start round 5, which is our last repeat, we're going to chain 1. Now just like in round 3, we're going to skip over our single crochet and we're going to find our second half double crochet. So that center half double crochet of our cluster from round 3. So this is our first stitch, second, third. So this is our second. So yarn over, insert your hook, going underneath both loops, and poke it out the back so that we're crocheting over top of our chain 2. We're going to make a half double crochet cluster into this stitch. Okay guys, skip over your single crochet, find your second half double crochet, which is right here. Insert your hook, and we're going to make our cluster, which is 3 half double crochets, all into the same stitch. And we're going to do this all the way around. So skip the single crochet, find your second half double crochet of your cluster, and make a cluster stitch into it. Okay guys, we are at our last half double crochet cluster, so find your second half double crochet, insert your hook, and make your last half double crochet cluster of round 5. So at this point, we are going to find our first half double crochet that we made, insert our hook underneath both loops, and drop your current color. Pick up your new color and pull it tight. Yarn over, pull through the stitch and the loop on your hook to complete your slip stitch, and just pull on your old color. There we go. So this is what round 5 looks like. Okay guys, it's time to close up our pot holder. So let's say that we are at the end of our last round, and so at this point we're going to make a slip stitch, but we're not going to change color because we're going to close our pot holder with color A. So we're just going to insert our hook into that first half double crochet of the round, and we're going to yarn over, pull through the stitch and the loop on your hook to make that slip stitch. Okay, at this point, I want you guys to weave in your ends, and color B, you can leave a nice long tail and trim it. For the sake of this, I'm just going to stuff my ends inside of my pot holder. If you guys choose this method instead, you can just make sure to kind of like make a knot with your color strands so that they're secure and they don't come undone when you put them in the wash. Okay, so to close our pot holder, what we're going to do is we're going to chain one with color A. We're going to find our first half double crochet, so where we made our slip stitch into, we're going to insert our hook underneath both loops. Okay? Yeah. We're going to find our matching half double crochet on the back side. So this one right here. We're going to insert our hook under both loops, and at this point we're going to make a single crochet. So we're going to yarn over and drop a loop and make a single crochet, and that joins those two stitches together. So once more, we're going to go find our next half double crochet on the front side, insert your hook under both loops, find the next half double crochet on the back, go under both loops, make a single crochet to close them. And we're going to do this all the way across, making a single crochet into each matching half double crochet. Okay guys, we're getting to our last couple of stitches, so just do your best to insert under both stitches. When you get to the end here, you can just kind of insert and make your final single crochet. So this is what our pot holder looks like now that we've closed it. And now we can add our chain circle. So to do that, we're going to chain 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. To close our chain circle, we're going to find our last single crochet that we made. We're going to go on a diagonal. We're going to go through the front loop and through that vertical bar. We're going to make a slip stitch to close it, so we're going to yarn over, pull through those bars and the loop on your hook, and that makes a chain circle. Now pull up on the loop on your hook to make a nice long tail, trim it, thread a yarn needle with your tail, and we're going to insert our needle going underneath the front loop of that last single crochet, and we're going to go through the inside of our pot holder. Kind of poke it out. Alright, so that closes our chain circle nicely, and now we can secure it. So we're going to insert our needle from the front to the back side. Okay, and on the back side we can make a knot to secure it, pull tight, weave it through some stitches, And when we're confident with it, we're going to trim our tail. Alright guys, that is it for our tutorial today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in 2 weeks on Wednesday, November 13th for potholder number 11. I can't believe we've just finished our 10th potholder. It's gone by so quickly. If you'd like to share a picture of your finished potholder, you can do that in our Crochet Along Facebook group here. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy crocheting. Bye.